Hey guys, welcome into College SportsCast. I'm Brad, and we are presented by the Fanboys.
It's always like at the beginning of the show. It's always slow on his end because he's playing it. He gonna come in another 10 seconds. Me and John we always dancing.
Yeah.
Point at
Let them know you're ready.
Yeah. He trying.
Not exactly sure what's going on here
There we
right this
go,
minute.
There we go.
It's Brad with College SportsCast. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
We can hear
My
you.
internet, it's been. I've had a storm here today, so my internet was all screwed up when I come in down here tonight. So, but anyways, we have a special guest on with us tonight. We have former Tennessee Vol with us, Ron Slay. Hey, Ron, how are you doing tonight, man?
What's up, man? What's happening, fellas? Man, glad to be with you guys. Glad y'all took time out your busy schedule, man, to finally fit me in with the fanboys.
All right, man.
Honor, man.
Yeah, man, it's really cool to have you on. Ron's, like I said, he's a former Tennessee basketball player. What year did you graduate, Ron?
Man, I graduated in 03. So I was in there 99 to 03.
99 to 03.
Yep.
Okay. I couldn't remember exactly what years you were there. I remember you being there, of course. I'm a Kentucky fan. He's a Tennessee ex-player. So, I mean, I remember him being there. He was a tough dude on the court, I can tell you that. I remember.
Yeah, man, I tried to. It didn't work. It didn't work against Ole Miss. It didn't work against Ole Miss. I know that. I remember how they did us in that damn SEC tournament, man. I know that for sure.
Hey, man, You talking about a young man? So I'm gonna call him a young man, but he's really an OG. I'm talking about a young man who brought the energy, the tenacity. I'm talking about what taught the whole game.
Yeah.
He brought it. You see what I'm saying? It's like you had to match his energy, and I think in Tennessee one year they got us so good.
Yeah,
I'm talking about they got us so good, but then SEC tournament we did get payback. And what's funny is about Slade. I don't know if you remember this. It was so much build up, right?
Yeah.
And him and Justin Reed going at it, him and Larkar going at it. And I think one time they fell, and I had so much adrenaline, and I threw Ron Slay off of him. And it was just one of them games, man. I was like,
I remember that. I promise I remember that. I'm like, what this man is doing, man?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be down here telling what these big boys.
Ron's, you're like 6'6", right?
Man, 6'8".
6'8". All right, 6'8". I knew you were 6'7", 6'8", something like that.
Yeah.
Jason over here, he's throwing you, and he's like 5'5", 5'6".
Man,
he had a different type of warrior mentality in him, though. I'm gonna be real, man. Made me respect it off the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was some great battles, man. Ain't nothing like. I'm gonna be real. Like the SEC is in a beautiful spot right now, but man, you look back, man, and that era right there, that was a different era, man, because it wasn't no missing. You know, you look at all the teams now. I'm talking about from top to bottom. You know, it wasn't
no
skating through any game, any weekend, any night. It didn't even matter, man.
Well, I mean, even Vandy back then had some really killer teams.
They did.
They did. I mean, Vandy had 2 or 3 coaches that really had Vandy going. 20 plus wins almost every year.
Coach Stallings, if I'm not mistaken.
Coach Stallings, one of them. Yeah. He was one of them.
Somebody who had some players. They have some players, game planning. Oh man, hey, you come in at half 7 if you want to. You're gonna get shot out right out of there. You come in at half 7. It was no easy win in Nashville, by no means. And I know Ron Slavin. I know he felt that coming back and playing. Oh my goodness.
Every bit of it. I think I went. I actually looked at it the other day because we were getting ready to play Vanderbilt, and I think I went 4-2. But I made it a point. I can't lose at home, man. They came up and got us down here. I think my freshman year, and then got us again. I think maybe my sophomore year. They got us up there on Rocky Top when we was teetering, going through the peaks and valleys of the season. But yeah, man, I made that a point when I came back. That was like a homecoming. Everybody was there, my old high schools and everything. So yeah, it was some good times.
So we got some comments on for you, Ron. Got some fans. Spear Addicts is on. Says you slayed the rest.
Oh, that's what's up, man. It's out to you, Spear Addicts.
And we got Winning Edge Sports Network that's on. That's talking about you a little bit. And then Spear Addicts asked you a question here. I was going to get to that. Get it up on the screen for you there.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
But he asked you a question about who your best player that you played against was.
Man, that's tough, man. I'm gonna think like it, man. Night in and night out, man. I'm telling you,
that's a loaded question.
Dude,
that's a loaded question.
It is, man, because I honestly can't leave nobody out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking about from the South Carolinas to the Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Georgia. Like it was night in, night out. And they ain't even talking about the big dogs at the time, Kentucky and Florida, what they were running around doing, man. I would think, I ain't going to say who the best player was. I'll say who my toughest matchup. My toughest matchup probably was Joe Johnson. Toughest matchup.
Joe Johnson?
The way Joe came in, man, he caught the league by storm because he had to sit out the first half of the season. So if you didn't know Joe, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no social media and highlights and stuff like that running around here. You got to know him. So I played with him and played against him in the All-Star game. So I knew of him, you know what I mean? And then when he got eligible, we had him like I think game 2 up there in Arkansas. So wasn't no film out on him or nothing. I'm telling coaching him, hey man, I know
Chris,
man.
Penny was about 8 or 10 years before Ron. So
yeah. Penny was before me. Yeah, Tennessee legend, man, straight out of Memphis. But Joe Johnson,
Penny was before Slade.
Man, I can take Joe. I grew up with Joe Johnson playing. Joe Johnson, this is man, and when you knew he was gonna make it. Joe Johnson, 8th grade, was 5'8", playing the shooting guard.
Wow.
His 9th grade year, he shows back up. No one sees him. He is 6'5".
See, that's why he was so smooth out there.
Yeah, nobody knew that. I'm like, listen. And during his senior year, it was talks about him going straight from high school to the pros. But he lost so much weight because he got sick.
Right.
So, and like you said, he sat out as cement. He played a year and a half. His first game was getting all corner, one of the HBC schools. And look, he could have went pro. But ended up getting hurt. Later on that summer, who was that? Jason Williams came down on his ankle.
Wow.
Because I think he was up there in the either the USA games or anything. Something he was doing.
Probably so. I know he was on the USA team. He sure was.
He sure was. So man, it's one of those deals, man. That
so Spear Addicts has got one more question here for you, Ron.
Okay.
Who was the hardest working athlete you knew other than you, of course?
Golly.
Like who was in the gym all the time? even when the guys were going out to the club or whatever, who was in the gym?
Oh man.
I mean, who had that Kobe Mamba mentality? Basically,
Honestly, man, I want to say everybody did. We just incorporated going out to the clubs. And I think if you had to move one, like it was okay. And this man, straight up and down, man. Like we would go out and party, and leave, come back, shower, and go straight to workout. You know what I'm saying? Like, and push each other, come back, take a nap, get back up, play pickup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go lift. Like, and this is bad to say. So kids, I want y'all to go to school, listen, do what you're supposed to do. Dog, it was all about basketball for us. Like we were on a pro regimen in college. You know what I'm saying? We did enough in class to make sure we passed, but we were making sure we was in the gym. So honestly, everybody did. I think who had the biggest transformation that I got to see over the years, I probably say Udonis Haslam, man. UD,
and he turned it into a long NBA career. I mean, is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
He was last year. Is he still there this year?
Yeah, this year 20 for him. He right there. Yeah, he's right there in Miami. But I was able to watch him play throughout his career and play against him. And then when I went down to Miami for the summer league, man, in college, UD was about 260, 255. You know what I mean? Playing all summer.
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah.
When I saw him the next time in Miami, man, the dude, he went overseas that 1 year. I didn't even recognize him. Like, we went through a whole practice. I'm in the locker room, and in the locker room while we changed, he was like, man, you don't even remember me, do you? I'm looking like, man, what are you talking about, man? What's your name? He was like, man, Udonis. I'm like, Haslam? Like, he changed and transformed that much. So that's the biggest transformation I've seen, man. But everybody in the SEC was working. Because no way you were gonna make it on talent alone. You're not making.
Was Lofton there with you?
No, he was right after me. He was
right after you.
04 to 08.
Okay,
he's the guy that was in there though. Like when everybody. Now I did get to personally see him while everybody partying. So the 3 hours or 4 hours we was at the club, he was actually in there.
Lofton was in the gym.
He'll come for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
come to the club for an hour, but then he going right back too. So. Everybody, man, everybody worked extremely hard, man.
That 2001 team that I vividly remember, they had a lot of good players. And point guard, who of all respect, Tony Harris. Anything about Memphis basketball, Tony Harris is one of those. I'm gonna say he's not forgotten, but he just got caught up in a lot of things.
Right.
Because he was one of those. I'm not gonna lie. The first person who ever yanked me, when I say yank, I mean went between I stole the move, go between the legs. He yanked me. I'm steady going that way. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like,
he was different.
What? Oh no! And I'm talking about shooting because he was one of the fastest people with the ball. They had Vincent Yarbrough who made it to the league. Like and then they had what's the tall kid? Last name was Victor.
Isaiah Victor.
Victor. Yeah. I was like, you could just go down the line, and they were the most talented team.
It wasn't
one of the most talented team from top to bottom that we had ever played, man. And man, it was one of those. Hey, that team right there was very special. We knew that we had to bring it because they would actually blow you out of the water
without question,
and punk you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And let you know about it. They talk. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we're gonna talk cash money now. You know what I mean?
Cash money because
and when
y'all was there during the Calipari years, right? Memphis.
No, we caught them right out there. We caught Cal down there. But when you're asking these questions, I'm trying to leave Tennessee out until you ask about it because, man, I feel like Jay just said, dog, from top to bottom, man, I felt we couldn't be messed with, man. I'm gonna be real, like you know what I mean.
There was a time I feel like from the late '90s till that Florida team, with Haslam and stuff like 07, 08. there was a time for about 10, 12 years there that the SEC, I mean, they were getting 2 teams to the Final Four sometimes. They were, they really was one of the better conferences in the country every year.
Yeah, there ain't no question. But you had every spot covered. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think, man, we were playing the traditional style. You know what I'm saying? We had the ability, to play now, where it's 4 out, 1 in, play that type of way. But man, you got to imagine, we had 2 guys in the paint, 2 guys defending them. The wing will come down there sometime. The guard bring his man, it's packed in there. You know what I'm saying? So to play in the SEC, that's what I'm saying. You got, and it wasn't no like it is now, 6'9", 210. You know what I mean? 6, 7 foot. Man, no, you got some meat on. You know what I mean? 245, 250.
Yeah. Mississippi State had some big guys. Did you play with Vargas? Did you play with
Vargas?
Vargas?
I played against Vargas. Vargas out there on the wing. Yeah, I caught a little bit of Vargas.
Yeah. Mississippi State had some guys that were down low, man. I mean, they were a beast.
I know, problem.
Mississippi
Austin down there.
Mario Austin down there. Yeah,
Mario Austin, man. I think he was a freshman,
man. It was a problem.
Guy who
ain't no nice off at any position, man. No position.
Man, it was. To me,
we got Chris Sporadics with us, and I'm going to let him. He says one last question for you. I'm going to get it up on the screen for you, Ron. All right, there it is. It says, okay, last question: MJ, Kobe, or Bron, the GOAT, or someone else?
I leave that whole conversation alone, man. That's more of a barbershop conversation. You know what I mean?
That's a barbershop deal there. Yeah.
The only thing about that is when you arguing that, it's almost like you discounting one of the others. So if I'm going MJ versus Kobe, and I pick MJ, that means I gotta take away from Kobe by saying what he can't do. You know what I mean? Even though he was a cut from the same.
It's so hard to do with different eras too. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I got who I like. It's just, you know what I mean? And Bron ain't even finished, so I feel like that's unfair. Where will he be in 23, 24 years? You know what I'm saying? He just now hanging it up. So. I mean, it is what it is. It's a great conversation for the barbershop, but
it is. I agree with you, Ron. I agree with you there, man. Yeah. All right, so let's dig into a little bit of college basketball stuff that's going on this year. Who's your favorites right now? Top 3, 4, 5 teams that you can think of right now.
Man,
that would be up there Tennessee. For you.
I love Tennessee. You know what I mean? I think the only thing they're missing is that one guy that tips the scale when things start to even out. I think what they're missing, they don't have that guy that they play great as a unit, meaning they always got to play great as a unit to keep advancing if it was tournament style. You know what I'm saying? They can't have an off night and then one player step up and go for 35 or something like that. You know what I mean? They don't have that weapon. But together as a unit, they are dangerous. So I like.
Yeah, they're like all 5 players are going to score 15 points.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Be in
something
trouble
like that.
Yeah, they're going to be at your neck on the defensive end. Yeah, so I love that. I love Alabama. Brandon Miller is a problem when you talk about tipping the scale, man.
He is.
Man,
yeah.
Ain't nobody got nobody like him. Like the kid at Baylor is pretty good, man. I think his name's Keontae. He can really play.
Keontae George. Pretty good.
Yeah.
He can go. But Brandon Miller, to me, man, is 6'9", being able to do the things he does. He's trouble. And he don't even – the way Nate Oates plays, he doesn't even really orchestrate things. Everybody kind of fills into a spot. So it depends what spot you get in as far as if you're going to score or not. But Brandon different. Brandon Miller.
He doesn't feature Brandon in that offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what makes it even crazier.
Right. Yeah.
Those are 2. I like Kansas. I like the kid Jalen Wilson. I like people that can tilt the scale.
He's pretty smooth, man.
Yeah,
Jalen Wilson, pretty smooth.
Like he would have been a 3. back in our era. You know what I mean? Ain't no way he would have been able to play the 4. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
He looked real good. Kansas. Who else? Not a big fan of Texas. Trying to think.
UCLA
Purdue.
maybe.
I like UCLA because they got a veteran bunch. You know what I mean? I think
do.
Tiger Campbell.
That's the reason why I threw it out there.
Yeah, Tiger Campbell do a great job of organizing them. Cronin, he ain't really got to coach too much because they've been there. They've been in big moments. You know what I mean? They get on the stage, they can take it home. I like Purdue because of Big Eddie. Big Edie, he's a
beast.
He's a Chico,
down low.
Like Chico.
I'm glad you brought that up. I got a question when you finish your point. I'm glad you brought Big Edie up.
Be 7'5". 7'5".
Yeah, I mean he's right.
He went and lost weight. It was different last year when you maybe 4 or 5 times you get up and down the court fast, you can tire him out. Now this man is able to move and fluidly get up and down the court. The only thing that can stunt Purdue is they got young guards around them. Outside of that,
that's what I was fixing to bring up. My only issue with Purdue is they got 2 freshman guards that's running the show. And they, on occasion, you have seen them still look like young freshmen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it gets tight, big stage, when it gets tight, you know. So that's my only issue with Purdue. I really like Purdue. And Edie, I mean, I was having a conversation with Jason on one of the shows the last time or two. His hook, I really love his hook shot. And I mean, with his size in the college game, he's damn near unstoppable.
No, he is. You can take the damn off of it. He's unstoppable.
Now with that said, with that being said, the college game, we had a debate. Why isn't he on draft boards? And
that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
I had an opinion, and Brad had an opinion. So I want to know, why do you think? Because I mean, in a way, I know, but I'm not an expert. I'm just a person with an opinion. But why do you think Edie is not on draft boards like we think he should? But you know, why do you think?
First of all, Jay, you just as much of an expert as me because you done played the game and honored as a legend. We talking about right here in college. You know what I mean? Regardless of what we did pro after, we talking about right here. And my opinion, dude, is that's not where the game is. For one, like you look at people like last year, Big Luke Garza. There's no way Garza shouldn't have been. He's the player of the year. There's no way he should have been a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? You look at Oscar Tshiebwe, man. In this era, it's no way. It's no way. You get a guy averaging a high double-double, dominating the way he does. No way he's not
18 and 15. The dude's grabbing 15 boards a game. How does he get drafted? I don't understand.
That's the problem. So my thing with Big Edie, man, is just who in the league in the NBA now is going to slow it down for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, Sixers has got their big guy.
Yeah, but they got a big guy that can get out there on the perimeter and get to work. You can ISO him on the wing. You can ISO him at the top of the key, and there's nothing you can do with him. You ain't never seen Big Edie get the ball at the trailer spot and take somebody out the dribble or nothing.
Embiid is a totally different beast.
Edie's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Embiid's a big different animal.
I mean,
Jokic, the Joker, he's a different animal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, like they different. Like he is actually get to the block, plant yourself, do not move. And get a run.
That's what Edie is. Yeah.
Nobody can slow down nobody can slow the game down slow enough to be able to do that. Because if that was the case, what's the big fella? Big Boban. Big Boban would be dominating. But no, ain't nobody gonna slow down. If you put Edie in pick and roll, man, do you know what he gonna have to do? Like everybody,
that's what Jason said the other night about putting him in pick and roll.
Yeah, the strategies now is to switch everything. Ain't nobody hard hedge and nothing of that, and somebody bumping your man from rolling. They switching. You put Edie on the island when he's going.
But I don't like that damn switching stuff all the time. Do you?
But that's what it is now. That's what the game is.
Yeah, but that's like half the time that switching stuff gets you in, you got a 6'2" guy guarding 6'10" guy. It gets you in that,
Let me tell you though, this is why you got to switch, because if you don't switch where it is now, you got everybody on the court pretty much, maybe outside of one, the person that's screening can shoot. So if you imagine how wide the NBA court is. Put a guy in the corner, a guy in the corner, a guy on the wing that can shoot from deep, not on the 3-point line, but deep on the wing. So now you got 3 people spacing the floor. Your defenders can't leave. As soon as the guard comes off that pick and roll, if you right there coming to bump to help, that's a hook pass to the corner. Or it's a skip automatically before the screen get there. And you don't want to give up. Not shooters that have been in the league. You don't want to give up 5 or 6.
I mean, it is a different game. Everybody's shooting nowadays. Centers and everybody. Every player.
You can't hedge. So I say that to say, if you hard hedge and they drag that out, think about how far you got to run back before the person that's tagging your man can recover to his man. All they need is this much in the league.
Right. Oh, I know. Yeah.
And you brought up another name. We also had a Big Oscar. Oscar. This is a two-part. Well, it's a comment and a question. It's a comment and a question.
Jason's trying to rile me up here on this.
Hold on. Just yet. Not just yet. It's early. Okay. Him in the pick and roll. You just said it. I think that's where he's getting exposed at, in the pick and roll. He getting, and then
killing me, man.
Why did he decide to come back to school when his stock was so high last year?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
I think, man, first of all, him getting exposed in that pick and roll is the problem, because their floor is so spaced, and you kind of get hung up recovering to his man, and guards are so savvy now. All they're going to do is run it down his back. And he use him as another screen to screen his own man. Then the drop off is there. So it's so much going on with that. But coming back, I honestly, I don't think he would have went before the second round.
He wouldn't. He would have been. That's a shame. He would have been. He would have been a middle to second rounder. Middle second rounder last year.
That's
probably.
A shame to say, man. The player of the year.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like that's not supposed to happen, man.
I know.
I don't know. Not only is he contesting with the guys coming out of college, the guys coming from Europe, but now you got the elite, G League elite. You got, you know what I'm saying? Like it's too many leagues to pull from. And why would I take the time and get you? And I got a dude right here I can develop. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody in a rebound. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's straight. And then plus, it ain't like he's 6'10", 6'11".
No.
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
He's 6'9". Yeah.
But
here's the deal. Here's the deal. The game's changed so much that, like Rodman, you go back to the Rodman days in the NBA, he was like 6'7", 6'8". But I mean, just because he could get 20 rebounds a game.
Positions.
There we
Rodman
go.
can defend multiple positions. Sheboy can't defend multiple positions. Not consistently.
Well, yeah, right. Not at this point he can't, and he probably won't be able to. Probably
not at no point. Not at no point.
Yeah, yeah.
That's no knock on him, because you know what I mean.
That's just the truth. That's just the truth.
That's just the truth. Yeah, like I'm guaranteed Cal will never come out the huddle and say, "Sheboy, you take the point." And if they do a handoff, you stay with the guy they handed off to. Like, no, man, get your butt down there, man, and bang. They get up there, go ahead and hurry up and get back to the paint. Or if it's under 8 or 6 seconds on the clock, then switch. Emergency switch only. We don't want you out there on the island.
So that's the thing. They're picking on him more than they picked on him last year.
Yeah, because it's exposed.
Well, I just think last year they didn't expose him, and nobody really knew it as much last year. And then this year, early on, he got pretty much exposed in that pick and roll, and everybody has been putting him in it.
Yeah, it's a copycat league. If it worked for Jason, why wouldn't I do it? If it worked for me, why wouldn't you do it?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's the SEC. That's why I'm telling Brett. That's the SEC. They gonna every coach is gonna watch all the film and try to get that edge. Like, how can we get him out?
Yep.
This is the way we get him out. Cal's gonna get mad. Cal's gonna get mad at him and snatch him because like Oscar's, he's gonna come back because he's a great player.
Right.
I'm not taking that away. He's a double machine. That's hard. That's an art of rebounding. I think he's a professional player.
I do too.
Like I'm saying, but for my thing is, if I win Player of the Year, I need to leave.
Yeah, I can't get no higher.
You can't get no higher. You can't get no higher. You can't get no hotter. No matter what. Because if you look at the state of basketball right now, think about this. All freshmen, no matter what, if they had all the juice coming out of high school, if they average 8, 9, 10, they're still gone. Because they know if they come back another year, it's more film. Kind of like president, coaches have film. It's more film on you, more ways because they got synergy. They can put in that. They got the software now. They put all your defensive plays, all your offensive plays. Where you
absolutely
like film. Film is something else.
It is, and you should know better than anyone because y'all had a guy up in Kentucky last year, Shaden Sharp, who didn't even play, and still was a damn near lottery pick. So I mean,
I know.
Once you're in the system, you don't do nothing to mess that system up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Regardless if you ain't playing or if you are playing, like you got an opportunity to go.
And that's what Shaden did. Shaden Sharp last year, I mean, he had been hurt a little bit, and he was like, you know what? I'm not getting out there and ruining what I already have, because I've been hurt. And then they see me be exposed because I've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'm just not doing it.
The professional part of it, if Nick Smith for Arkansas didn't come back and play, you think he still wouldn't go lottery? You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking on that, is he helping or hurting himself in your opinion?
Or is he helping or hurting him and himself?
So I think himself, as far as himself goes, I think he's gonna be fine regardless. Because once whatever happens after school, he get healthy before going in them combines, he gonna blow it away because he a talent. Whatever it is, he ain't finna lose what happened in 6 months without it. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that looking at what he does to the team, I think it could definitely help the team. But you're taking away from guys like Devo, who got a rhythm going already, Ricky Council, who kind of pretty much established when he went out that he could be the guy. You're taking away from Anthony Black, man, who is in his bag because it ain't like he's a spot-up shooter or a guy coming off screens and spacing the floor. All of them are mid-range or get to the basket type guys. So you can you actually add another guy outside of Devo that's really gonna clog the lane. You know what I'm saying?
There's just not enough space on the floor.
It ain't enough space. There's not enough space.
There's not enough space.
It's funny you said that rhythm. It's funny you said rhythm. I was talking to one of my best friends just an hour ago before we even came on, and we was actually talking about it. And he said his 13-year-old son had said, "Dad, he's just not in rhythm." And Musselman, his trust doesn't go very far.
It don't.
You see what I'm saying? Because he's going to just play his top 7, 8. That's what he's going to do, and he's just trying to win. And I think, along with everybody else, Nick is just out of the rip. You don't play basketball for 2 months.
Yeah.
And you come back in the SEC. That's kind of hard.
That game too fast.
That game is too fast,
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't going to pick Arkansas, but I had a little thing here I was going to ask you about. All right.
Okay.
All right,
so the next two games for Arkansas are Florida and Georgia at home. Don't they really, I mean, for the bubble, for them getting in the tournament, aren't they pretty much must wins at home against Florida and Georgia?
So. I think so.
Don't you?
Yeah, I think especially they lost last night to A&M.
Yeah.
So I mean that's not a bad loss. But
no,
it's not.
Get
wins. You got to get wins. Especially if Florida, if Castleton's not playing, and then you got Georgia.
Broke his hand.
I'm actually calling that game, the Georgia and
the Georgia
game next Tuesday. Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
One thing about it, man, Mike White got them boys fighting. You know what I'm saying? And,
they do. They do.
Talk about rhythm. If Terry Roberts can get his rhythm back, and if Justin Hill,
they got a couple of really good guards.
They got some guys. Yeah, they do.
They got 3
guards, man, that can really go. So it's interesting to see what happens in that game. But those are games you got to get if you're trying to
That's what I'm saying. I think for homes against Florida and Georgia this weekend and next Tuesday against Georgia, I think they're must wins for Arkansas.
Yeah, I do too. And I think they win that Florida game. I'm not.
Where are they playing? Where's that game at? You said
they're both games are at home.
Both home.
Both games are at home.
Did the big fella from Florida break something? You said?
He broke his hand.
He broke his hand yesterday. Castleton.
Ooh.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough right there.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
That's a big blow. That's a big blow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, let's get to some game day pick'ems and let's pick a few games for us.
All right, let's get it.
All right, man. I'm gonna start with number 9 versus Kansas on Saturday. It's at Kansas, at Lawrence, and Kansas is number 5 and Baylor's number 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start with Jason. What's your take on this game, Jason?
Man, it's hard to win in Kansas. It's hard, especially around this time of the year.
Especially around this time.
And I know Coach Self is really, really hammering to them guys like, hey, listen, we got to start playing better right now. And you got to protect home court. Even though, like you said, I love the guard, Keontae George, seen him over the circuit the past 2 years. Baylor's going to come in there ready to play a good veteran team with a good mix. But it's just something about Kansas. It's just something about Kansas, man. I'm like Sporadic just said, I'm going to have to go with Kansas at home, the fog. Like, it's going to be jumping.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jason's going with Kansas. All right. Ron,
I'm picking Kansas too, man. I really love Scott Drew as a coach for Baylor, man, and they just got their big man back. You know what I mean? I know he could help and kind of keep it close. And Keontae, hell of a player, but man, Fog Allen is different, man. And you got the freshman Grady Dick who just came off 30-point plus game, and he feeling it. You got Jalen, you got good guard play, man. Them fans gonna be rocking. It's made for basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you. On that too. I'm probably gonna go with Kansas in this game. You know, playing at the Fog is just a tough damn place to play. They don't lose too many at home. They've already lost one at home, I know, this year, maybe 2, but one I know pretty badly. And I don't expect to see that here late in February now.
Right.
You know, like you said, Grady Dick's picking up his game. Jalen is a special talent, and I expect Kansas to win it and pull this game out. Bass been playing a lot better though lately.
They have.
Without question. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, North Carolina is going and playing at number 23 NC State. And this game is on Sunday this weekend. This is a big game for North Carolina. North Carolina has not had the season that most people expected. They are squarely on the bubble, along with Kentucky, I might add, since I'm a Kentucky fan. But North Carolina is squarely on the bubble about making the tournament. And this is a big game for them. So, Ron, I'll let you go first on this one.
Man,
he was game on this.
He was game for the Tar Heels, man. But this time they're away from home. They just had a really good game versus who was it? Clemson, I believe.
Yes.
Got a good victory over them and mopped them, like beat them bad.
Right.
But
think at home.
It's like, where's this? Yeah, it was at home. Where's this Carolina team been? You know, I like NC State a little more. like the big fella DJ Burns down there in the paint patrolling. Giving them a lift. I honestly think because of the home court, I'm gonna have to go with NC State and the inconsistent play that North Carolina has had. Like, do they have the talent? Without question, they returned everybody from a national championship run, so they got the talent. Does it switch? We don't know, and because I don't know, I got to go with the home team on this NC State.
All right,
Man, Schley just said it, man. Which UNC team will you get? You know, I think they have been not only some of the Blue Bloods, but I think UNC has been really a disappointment this year. I think they had high expectations. Was it a time in which they were ranked top 5 in the country at one point?
That was preseason number 1.
Yeah, preseason number 1.
They were preseason number 1. Yeah.
No. Yeah, and it's one of those deals, man, that I just don't trust them on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think their game doesn't travel well this year, and that's bad to say about a North Carolina team. You know, they always travel well, but this year for some reason they're not just getting over the hump. And you can't put one thing on it. You can say foul trouble. You can say inconsistent guard play. You can say sometimes they don't make shots. It's just to me, man, this has probably been one of the most down years on the floor for UNC in a long, long time. Even though all schools go through down years, but
right,
I'm going to go with North Carolina State as well.
All right, I hear you guys, but here's my take on this: if Carolina's tournament and make any kind of run, this is almost a must-win game. I feel like so. Davis is going to have these guys fired up to play against NC State. And I think, I just have a feeling that they're going to come to play in this game. And I'm going to go with the away team and go with North Carolina in this game, I think.
Okay. You think it's time to turn it around, huh?
I think that's what they're – don't get me wrong. According to the way the seasons went, I agree with both of you two. I'm just I'm saying that it's time to turn it around.
That's respected.
And I think that's what we'll see. At least I feel like that's what we'll see. All right.
We will see.
So
we will see.
No dispute.
The next game I was going to talk about, put this one in here. It's a big this weekend. I know you guys probably know this area pretty good. So we got Memphis is playing number 2 Houston on Sunday. And this is a big game for Memphis. Houston's number 2. They're locked in. I mean, they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed no matter what happens with this game. But Penny, somebody asked about Penny earlier. This is a big game for Penny and the Tigers. So, Jason, I'll let you go first on this one. What do you say on this game?
I just watched Houston, if I'm not mistaken, beat SMU tonight.
Man, shout out Rob Lanier, man.
Man, big shouts out. If they were playing in Memphis, I would say Memphis. But since they're playing at Houston, and I think they have a chance to regain the number 1 spot in the country again, I think they're going to be a little bit more fired up to play down there. I think Coach Sampson is going to get one of those passionate, in-your-face speeches and just tell them, we like every top program in the country right now, we got to start playing our type of basketball right now, heading into March. We got to make that run. So I'm going to go with Houston.
All right.
Hey, man, I'm making it easy. I'm following that train. I do think Penny has Memphis playing way better and above expectations, especially with everybody they lost guys to the league and everything last year, guys that transferred. Tyler Harris having a good year at the UAB, but Marcus Sasson, just an assassin. Like it ain't no. And one thing about it, when you're playing for a guy like Coach Calvin Sampson, he gonna let you rock. You know what I'm saying? Boy. You ain't got to worry about looking over your shoulder or nothing like that. He's going to play a 6-7 man rotation. Y'all go out there and get it done.
Right.
So chemistry ain't going to be a problem. When the ball's coming to you ain't going to be a problem. You ain't got to be hunting for shots. You can play the right way. He going to demand that you play defense. Yeah, with this being at Houston, most definitely, I don't see a slip up, and I see them handling this because this is a bit of a rivalry too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
right. It is.
You don't lose no rivalries at home. So I'm gonna have to go.
I just know it's a big game for this weekend, and it's a huge game for Penny and Memphis. I mean, if they could get this game, I think it would, probably get them in the tournament. And they're 19-6. So
that's what I was just about to ask it. Do even without this win, do you think Memphis has done enough?
I think it's going to depend on how many bubble busting happens in tournament play and stuff like that. whether or not Memphis gets in without a win like this against Houston.
Because I think they're NCAA team.
That's what I was just gonna say that. Because
I mean, I do too. I'm saying I do too, but I think it's also going to depend on.
Man. They went on the SEC tear for a second. They played like 4 SEC teams in the non-conference and won probably 3 of them. So I think that's going to help. I think this won't be a bad loss on them. You know what I mean? It'll be more so expected. I think. But if you want to bolster your resume, most definitely.
Right. Then it'd be a huge win for them. But
right.
Since I'm with you guys on this one, is at Houston. It's a very tough place to play. Houston's got a great team. Sasser, I agree with you, Ron, 100%. They play a just tenacious defense, and I just don't see Memphis going in and beating them at home. But I mean, they have lost a couple of games at home. Temple beat them, Alabama beat them. So I mean, it's possible. But I'm going to go with Houston in that game.
I agree.
All right, Ron. This is a game we've been waiting to talk about right here. This is a game we've been waiting to talk about.
Back.
Got a whole both of y'all back. Got a whole both of y'all back.
All right. Number 10, Tennessee's going to Rupp to play Kentucky on Saturday. All right, Ron, I'm going to give you the floor. But I am good. Before I give you the floor, I'm going to let you remember that we did beat you at Knoxville this year.
Okay, I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna go last.
Hey man, y'all. First of all, y'all absolutely not only beat us, y'all punked us down there on Rocky Top, which is one more reason why I believe they came out and played the way they did on that stage against Alabama, because
I agree with you on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was
I agree with
spotlight, and it was an opportunity to get that back. So this is how I always feel this series go. If you beat them first, it's very likely, man, that you're gonna lose the next game because of the rivalry.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a neutral site. I don't care where it is. Like, man, it's that digs deep, you know what I'm saying, when you lose. So Coach Barnes gonna have them guys ready to play. I would especially feel they can bring that physicality that they had at home, take it on the road up there. And I think Kentucky is in enough disarray right now of not knowing if they gonna have Frederick, what Wheeler give them, will he give them an extra body? Like what
is he gonna play?
Damian Jones, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's a funny mixture going on. Livingston starting to play more minutes, but what is he really doing?
Livingston had a good game last night.
Yeah, he did. And he's a guy I was really high on. You know what I mean? Oak Hill, salute the Oak Hill Academy. You know what I mean? He's an alum. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I expected some big things out of him. He just couldn't get his feet right, you know what I mean, as far as coming into the season. But, man, they got a guy. Casey Wallace is a problem. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get guys like Frederick. And if he plays and a guy like Reeves going – you expect your double-double. Just don't make that an impactful double-double. Let's let it be a lot of numbers. Like, he can go get 18 and 18. If it's not in the moment, an 18 and 18, then it's just some good numbers. But I think Tennessee going to go up there and handle them, man. And that's without even knowing if Josiah Jordan-James is going to play or Julian Phillips. I do think this Tennessee team has a different type of pride about themselves. And being able to get that win against Alabama, I think that's not a hangover. That's more of a feed into this game.
All right. So here's my take. I agree with a whole lot of what you said as far as
I gave y'all props. I don't know what Big Blue Nation want from them. I'm giving y'all love.
Listen, I'm just messing with you.
There's people up there hollering, Cal go to Texas and all. I'm like, not Big Blue Nation.
You should have heard that. I told him Cal was gonna ride the ship.
I never said a word about Cal leaving. No, I never said a word about Cal leaving. Okay. All right. So here's my take. Tennessee and Kentucky is one of the biggest rivals in the SEC, maybe the biggest rival in basketball. I'm not sure, but and I agree. You know, usually when one team gets that first victory, then it's really hard to get that second one. In this case, Kentucky got that first victory in Knoxville, so they at least get back home to Rupp for the second game. So, that is a plus. But I will say this. Not knowing whether or not Fredericks or Wheeler is going to play is a problem. It's a problem. Tennessee is, you've seen last night, they beat the number one team in the country with Alabama. Tennessee has got a really, really good team. I like this Tennessee team, and that's coming from a Kentucky fan. So, right. This Tennessee team, I've been saying all along that this Tennessee team is very special. The only thing, and Jason will back me up on this, the only thing that I have said negatively about this Tennessee team is on occasion, there are games where their offense disappears. Mm-hmm. They're a great defensive team, and they're a great team. They and like you said, Ron, they got 5 or 6 guys that can score 12 to 15 points, and that's how they beat you. But on occasion, they score 54 points or 46 points or 53 points against Kentucky or something like that. That's the reason why Kentucky beat them. Their offense, they play great defense. They're probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country defensive wise. But on occasion, their offense disappears. Mm-hmm. I think that's how Vandy knocked them off like last week. They didn't score enough points. If they would have played like they did last night against Alabama, against Vandy, they beat Vandy pretty handily, probably by 10, 12 points. And there's not a chance for somebody to hit a pointer in the corner like Vandy did.
Let me say this real quick. So this is what I've been trying to get Tennessee fans to understand too. This is the team that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like they beat Alabama, they still didn't shoot good. They shot 36.5%. They just missed 9 free throws. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they played D. They only had 8 turnovers. They forced 19 turnovers, scored 26 points off those turnovers.
Off the turnovers.
And then off the turnovers, and only gave up 2 points off their 8 turnovers. So you got that factor. With this team in Tennessee, they're always going to play defense. So when it comes to the scoring, their problem is, and this is what happened against Vanderbilt in Missouri, their problem is they don't score in the moments when they have the opportunity to. So last night against Alabama, when they hit that dry spell again, Vescovi hit those 2 3-pointers in the corner. So that was a moment. Against Vanderbilt, they had a wide open dunk. Remember, Phillips pulled it back out. Mm-hmm. Then Vescovi got fouled, and then he went to the line and missed the free throw. You look at the Missouri game, he had a moment to ice the game. He went to the line, missed the first free throw, then it was a lane violation on the second free throw. None of this gets set up. If you just you ain't got to go 100%, just make the shots in the moment, because your defense is going to carry you to the point where you have an opportunity to win. You just got to make the plays in the moment. That moment that presents itself towards the end of the game, do you make those plays? They made the plays. The Cal was missing layups against Vanderbilt. What did they do on that last stretch under 2 minutes? Took Miller off the dribble, left hand layup off the glass. Those are the moments. You know what I'm saying? So you always gonna be there, but you just gotta make them in the moment. They always gonna shoot bad. Right. Now the games when Tennessee is on fire and they go score 80, the game's never even close.
Right. You can't do nothing with them. You can honestly, they're too good defensively, and you can't do nothing. If they're on fire and they're scoring 80 on that. If they're on fire and they're scoring 80, there's not a chance. I mean, honestly, you're not going to beat them.
Without question. But it's going to be a lot of tug and pull if the game comes down to that, because that's the type of ugly game they're going to play. Defense is ugly. Yeah. It's nasty. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be part of it.
At Rupp, I expect Kentucky to hang in this game. Mm-hmm. I do expect Tennessee to come with an edge because we did beat them in Knoxville. Listen, I am a true Kentucky fan, and it's hard for me to go against them. It really is.
I know it, man.
You have no idea.
So,
What?
with that being said, who
Yeah,
are you
so
picking?
who you picking? Yeah, that's what I mean.
With that being said,
so we can have it on record.
Oh, damn. Y'all killing me. I have to go Kentucky in this game. You know I do.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
So with that being said,
Ron, I expect you to go Tennessee, so we're good, right?
Hey, listen, though. Last night I picked Alabama last night. Because I honestly didn't think, and I said at the end of our show on the radio, they asked me how do they win the game? I said, man, the front court has to come out and impose their will. If they go out there and they have to change their game plan and play a small lineup like they had to do against Missouri, that's not what they're used to. But if you got two bigs on the court playing that traditional style like they like to play and get second chance shots, and they don't got to show up in the stat sheet. You just play a physical style game, knowing when those guards get broken down that you got somebody back there to contest the shot. Hey, dude back there playing well, it's a different type of ball game. You get to play your ball game. If you got to go small, that's not your ball game. You can't play that with Alabama. You can't play that with Missouri. That's how they want to play. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing.
Well,
Kentucky wants to play like that. Livingston isn't good enough to space you out and bring Olivier outside and really consistently hit that outside shot.
But Livingston's got to play well for Kentucky to win against Tennessee.
No, Livingston has to play well for Kentucky to be in the game.
Yeah. Well,
if
but
Livingston
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
play well, Kentucky won't be in the game. This will be a 10-plus point win. I'm gonna promise you.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with it. Yeah.
Well, I can say this. I can say this. You made a point when you said if Tennessee scores in the 80s. That was the team I saw earlier in the year. Right. They were scored. They imposed their will and they started to make shots. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the thing is, I don't know which team is going to travel. Kentucky. I don't know who's going to be available for Kentucky because the team that played the other day that I saw play against
not
Georgia,
the team that beat them at Knoxville.
Is not the team. And so the most desperate team wins the game. Yeah. And I think the most desperate team is Tennessee. Not who needs the game the most. Right. The most desperate team because Tennessee let two get away and had to really, really hear about it. Yeah. And then, like you said, it's hard to beat a team twice. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially in the same year. It's hard. So with this one, I don't think Kentucky, because one thing about this, you both said it, neither team shoots the ball well.
No.
Neither team. And so it's going to get one. It's going
to hell no, they don't.
It's going to get one in the trenches, second chance points, defensive game, block shots. That's all favors Tennessee. And so not just because this is my guy and not because Brad, you're my guy too. Yeah. I'm going to have to pick Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I understand it. Tennessee's the better team. I'm not right now, and I'm a Kentucky fan, and I can full-fledged say Tennessee's a better team, okay? But on occasion, the better team doesn't always win. Sometimes, a team can get the best of somebody.
Now, I would say different, man. If Tennessee had won that first game, I would be really worried. You know what I'm saying about them going back up there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
And I agree with that. I told you. I mean, it's the series. It's hard. It's hard to win 2 or 3 games in a row.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
No doubt.
All right, let's move on to Texas A&M, Missouri on Saturday. SEC game on Saturday.
Yes, it is.
I think that this game is going to be a big game. For the bubble and all that. Texas A&M. They're 1 game behind Alabama now in the SEC.
Yep. And
they play Alabama, I think, right after this Missouri game, or they play them next week. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. It might be the weekend game. I'm not 100% sure. I hadn't looked at their schedule, but I have. But I know they play them soon. So if they could win this game and then get to the Alabama game, if they could knock off Alabama, they would be leading the SEC. Texas A&M would be.
I think Texas A&M will be dancing regardless. I think their strength of schedule. I think the way
surely they won't
right
miss
now,
it again like they did last year.
I don't get.
They can't dog them twice.
Yeah, I don't think.
I
And
mean,
also
surely
think
not.
Missouri. I think Missouri is a tournament dancing team, regardless of because I think Gates. Like I said, if Nate Oates wasn't.
I actually believe that shot against Tennessee is what put them in, if you ask me.
Yeah. And I think like if Nate Oates wasn't having a great year, I believe that Coach Gates would be the coach of the year by far because he's came and resurrected. And I said it earlier.
Yeah,
Dennis Gates his best recruiting tool was bringing in Coach CY, Coach Young from Florida State because those two together were magnificent at Florida State.
They sure were.
And so that's what I say. Just give them 2 years.
Yep, that's all they need.
Give them 2 years because now you got to believe in the Missouri again.
Well, they're making some noise. They're making some noise this year, Jason.
But to me, they're just getting started. They're just getting started. Trust me, they're gonna bring on the long athletes. Those one and done.
They're on the way.
They're gonna bring them in, and then they're gonna go over. They're gonna make those calls from overseas, and they're gonna bring in some bigs that can move and they're mobile, protect the rim, and they're gonna be one of those teams that step off the bus. You're gonna be like, wow. It's just a matter of time. But I did the mistake last time and picked. I think it was Kansas. Who was that came in there? I think it was the Big 12 SEC challenge.
I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was. They played.
It wasn't Kansas,
he picked against them, and I picked Missouri.
I can't remember. Yeah,
Kentucky and Kansas played. It was.
It was Kentucky and Kansas. Missouri played
somebody.
Might have been Iowa State or somebody like that.
That's who it was. It was Iowa State. I kept saying Iowa State is a great, and I still believe Iowa State is a good team, but. It's just something about road games.
Yeah, that's what it was. Iowa State. Yep.
In the SEC, man, I'm gonna go with Missouri. Missouri plays well at home.
Hey, Missouri plays really good at home. They do.
They play really good. So I'm picking Missouri in this one.
Yeah, man. I like what Jay picked, man, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. Like my secret crush is on Texas A&M, dog. Like man, I got to watch them and shoot around. Dude, the energy is so good. The way
Buzz is such a good coach.
Buzz a good coach, man.
Y'all talking about Gates. Buzz is such a good coach. Man.
Yeah, I can agree. No doubt.
I think both in good hands, man. I love Boots Bradford. I love Taylor. I love the two bigs down there, undersized, Marble, and I forgot my other guy name, man, the other big fella, but. Man, they both undersized and they get busy down low. So I like them, but I'm like Jason, man. I was a big fan of the hire, knowing that Gates was coming from that Leonard Hamilton tree and what they did down there at Florida State. Like it's just like he said, it's just a matter of time, man. I echo everything he said, and then I also love the preparation that a guy like Conzo Martin put into Kobe Brown, you know what I mean, to get him this point. So he inherited a gem in Kobe Brown, man. And the way the atmosphere that Gates got Como with right now, that's second to none right now. That place is rocking up there. So I think, and I hate to pick against A&M, but I think Missouri gets this one, man. They tough at home, man. I like the kid, especially if the kid Isaiah golly, I forgot his darn name, but if he's back, first name Isaiah, I forgot his last name. But if he's back, he a problem. Ghosting is a problem. Like they got 3 or 4 guys. Hodge is a problem. They got some guys that can get going, man, especially at home. And they play that spaced out way. So
absolutely. The whole floor is
big fella, Marble and Coleman. Coleman is his name. The other 4 or 5 men. They're gonna have to get out there and defend, man.
They're gonna have to guard. They're gonna have to come outside and guard.
Man, them boys get up and down and they shoot that tray and they get to the hole. So
Kobe Brown and Missouri at home has been a problem for most teams this year.
Yes, indeed.
And I I'm with you. I really hate to pick against Texas A&M. Like Buzz has got them playing like I mean, and he had them playing this time last year like that
Sure
too.
did.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man, he is a hell of a coach, and I really I really want to pick Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
My brain says Missouri at home and Kobe Brown is just too much, so I'm going to go with Mizzou.
Now I wouldn't be surprised. Now I'm picking Missouri, but I wouldn't be surprised because Texas A&M. I mean, like I told you, any league in America, especially basketball, guards will always end up winning the game.
That's
good guard play wins every time.
Well,
and they got some tough ones. They got some tough ones.
They got some tough
Tuesday night. Next Tuesday night, both of these teams are playing again on Tuesday night. So we were just talking about A&M and Missouri.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. That's
yeah. Next Tuesday night, while Ron's on here, I just wanted to get his take on these two games.
Man, you're doing a hell of a job, Brad. Hell of a job, Brad. I like how you. I like how you got that one in, Brad.
Yeah, I just wanted to get his take on this one. Now I already got the Kentucky one in there.
Yeah.
So now we got Tennessee playing at Texas A&M on next Tuesday night on SEC Network.
Man, this right here, this is a Man, this is a battle of the styles of play.
And if they lose against Missouri this weekend, then they'll be coming off of
they'll really need it. Yeah. This tough, man. Sheesh. I really don't know. I just know. Golly, man.
Let me help him out.
I'm hitting Ron with one he didn't expect.
Yeah.
Ron didn't expect this one.
There are no off days in the SEC. Around this time of the year, like I told you.
Ron, this is curveball here, man.
Yeah, the peaks and valleys of a basketball season. This is
my curveball here, man.
It is, man. Yeah, like you coming off the road at Rupp on a Saturday, and you got to go down to College Station, man, where it's gonna be rocking, man.
Yep.
Ooh,
the next two games for y'all.
And Santi Vescovi.
And y'all are going to be
versus Taylor and
up
Boots
for Kentucky.
Yeah, like they go, and the crazy thing is, I think they up for this game too. It's just what happens. But I'm gonna go with the under. I'm gonna pick the under. The under.
All right, I'll let you go with that.
I'm gonna take the under.
Good call.
Honestly,
That's
man,
a good call. That's
they are so even, man. Like Dennis, I'll say if Josiah Jordan James plays, I like him better than Dexter Dennis. But the way Dexter Dennis done played these last 3-4 games, like he a double waiting on the wing, man. He hitting his three. He's super athletic. Like, man, that's a tough one, man. I'm gonna be real.
All right, man.
I tell you what.
I threw you a curveball.
I'm gonna tell you how I go. If Olivier Cumwar has 15-10 in that game, Tennessee wins. If he don't have a double, and I'm talking about like at least 14-8, Tennessee they ain't gonna win that game.
All right. I threw you a curveball in this one.
You sure did, boy. God.
Yeah. All
right, question,
Jason.
Brad.
What do you say on this one?
Man, once again, man, the life on the road in the SEC.
Yeah, it's tough.
Always tough. Now, I will say this. Even if they lose the same, if they win the same. Texas A&M, in my opinion, either team. But I just think Texas A&M plays better because they like you say, they mirror each other. I think Tennessee is a little bit bigger on the inside. And so if Tennessee's able to impose their will, but if Texas A&M is making shots and they get loud in College Station, it's not going to be a good day for the Vols. So with that being said, I'm picking the home team. I'm gonna stay with the home team. All right,
I wouldn't go with A&M.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee won.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't either. It's a tough game to pick, man. I mean, just an absolute tough game to pick. I mean, Tennessee is coming off 2 buzzer beaters Last night they played Alabama and beat Alabama. Then Saturday they're going to Rupp.
Yeah.
And then next Tuesday they go to College Station. So you talking about some tough games for Tennessee coming up.
This a gauntlet. This a gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely. They beat Alabama at home, which is a game they almost had to have after those two buzzer beater losses.
You're right. You're right.
So now they're going. I picked Kentucky, and it's hard for me to say I'm going to pick against Tennessee again. I really think Tennessee is that good of a team. But it's so hard to pick against Texas A&M at College Station.
At home, yeah.
I'm with you on that, Ron. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna pick. Since I picked against y'all at Rupp, I'm gonna pick Tennessee. Since you're on the show with me, I'm picking Tennessee in College Station. I don't. Here's the truth. I think that Tennessee was 1-1 in these two games.
Okay.
I don't believe that Tennessee will get both of them. Now, I might have it wrong. It might be flip-flopped, all right?
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Ain't no wrong answer in this one. I'm going to be real.
It's tough. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough.
All right, so then the last game that I got for us is Mississippi State against Missouri. And Mississippi State lost last night at home to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Probably put them just on the outside of the bubble.
Probably last four or something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last four in or just on the outside of the bubble.
Right.
So this is a game that they're going to need Tuesday night at Missouri. Can Mississippi State go into Missouri? And we just talked about how Missouri's played at home.
I'm picking Missouri. I like Mississippi State and what they do. They're too big and to get up there and run with Missouri like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They
are big.
I like Tolu. I love Tolu. DJ Jeffries. I like
Matthews.
Matthews. Yeah.
Matthews kid, he's a beast.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
I'm be interested to see how they combat, man. That floor being spaced the way Missouri likes to do, man. That's a problem at home. Missouri shoots the ball well there, so
I'm going to pick Mizzou at home too.
I'm gonna roll Mizzou on that one.
Man, the most desperate team. I think that it depends on who does Mississippi State play this weekend.
They get a win. They get a win this weekend. I can't remember now, but
is it South Carolina or Ole Miss?
It's South Carolina.
Yeah, it got to be one of them.
I think it's South Carolina, I believe.
LSU got South Carolina. Mississippi State plays Ole Miss.
Well, then they play
at Ole Miss.
Play Ole Miss.
Play at Ole Miss.
Hey, thank you for not bringing that up, Brad. I'm sorry I asked that.
Hey, I didn't bring it up.
I asked. Sometimes you don't ask questions you want answers to, and that's one of them. I think Mississippi State can actually, to be honest, I think they can play because I think, like you said, they're on the outside looking in right now, and they really need this game.
Mm-hmm.
They do need this game. I wouldn't be surprised. So this is what I'm gonna do. No, I can't do it. I'm picking Missouri. I can't.
You had me going for a minute, man.
I'm going with Missouri too.
Yeah, he had me going for a minute. I thought he was going there.
I do like Mississippi State. I like what Coach Jan's doing over there.
Mm-hmm. It's a game they need. Coach Jan's he's going to have them going too. He's doing a good job.
One thing I can say, speaking of Coach Jan's, these coaches who have been elevated up to the Power 5 schools are finding out the difference between the Power 5 schools and the mid-majors and the mid-major plus schools. It's a different type of animal when you get to the Power 5. It's not about X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes.
Without question.
Jimmys and Joes.
You got to have the players. You got to have the players.
And
I like what Ron said. You got to have some people that can tip the scale, meaning you got to have somebody you can throw the ball and say, hey, give me a bucket now. You need one. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. I agree with you on that. Because, it gets you got to have the players.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have the players. Gotta have the
We'll
players.
do. Make it a game. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ron. Back earlier. Chris Sporadics asked you this. Thought about coaching.
Yeah, man. I wanted to get into college coaching, man. So I went the high school route. You know, coached for 4 years. We got a private school here, Innsworth High School. Coached there for a minute, and then the radio, the media world kind of just took off, and kind of pulled me away from it. And I just never got the opportunity to get back into it. I still do a little training, still mentor kids as well, but I ain't really have the opportunity to get back into coaching to the level I wanted to. And the media world been good to me. So I've been riding this wave right here, man.
Well, tell all that you do. I know you do radio stuff in Nashville. What radio station are you on?
I'm on 104.5 The Zone, 104.5 FM The Zone in Nashville. We're on from 3 to 6. A great lineup all the way through though. Ramon, Kalen, Will, which my brother is on that show in the morning from 6 to 10. Followed by Buck Rising, then Blaine and Mickey, then 3HL with me, Don Davenport, who went to Auburn, and then Brent Daugherty, who went to Tennessee. We all sit there, man, and wrap it up from 3 to 6. And man, I just happen to be blessed with a great team. They let me be me, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't ask for a better situation. You know what I'm saying? I get to get out there, bring good energy, be live wire the whole time, and then we cover the Titans also. So I get to stab that part of my soul that I love. I love football. So talk about the Titans, and then with the flagship station of the Titans and the flagship station of the Tennessee Vols. So we cover that. Then got an opportunity to do SEC Network. So up there on Saturdays, hosting on SEC Now. And throughout the day, all day in the studio, and then get to do a couple games broadcasting. So, man, it's cool. I get to stay close to the game of basketball.
Sounds like you're kind of busy.
Yeah, man. And it's a good business. So it was a minute. It was a minute. I was trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'd much rather have this part, going on and staying busy. But I'm blessed, man, and loving the opportunity.
That's good.
Well, just so you know, I'm not too far from you. I'm just across the state line. Near Bowling Green. You know where Scottsville, Kentucky is?
Yeah. I know of them. I know through them parts. Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, it's right next to Bowling Green. I'm just across the line. I can be in Nashville in like an hour.
Yeah, you just a little further up than Hoptown and all that.
I can be in Nashville in about an hour, just so you know. So, yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that. I can listen to like Nashville radio stations.
Yeah, it pick up, like, man. We go up there to Clarksville and do remote sometimes. So
yeah. I can listen to Nashville radio stations and stuff like that. So
tap in
104 The Zone. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I will, man. I'll check. You said 3 to 6.
That's what's up. Yeah, 3 to 6, and we live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So it's streaming all day long too. So live shows.
Right.
It's good.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. So College SportsCast. So check us out as well. We appreciate you being on with us. I do want to get you out with one last thing. I watched an episode of your Boom Boom Room. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I listen. Just so you know, I'm giving you a shout out. I'm giving you a shout out. I watched an episode of your Boom Boom Room with Ron Mercer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my OG.
Right.
That's my OG.
Listen. Just listen. As a diehard Kentucky fan, if you could drop a word for me with Ron Mercer for our show. I'm doing it on air. I just thought I would tell you. I would love to have me some Ron Mercer. He's from Nashville. I'm not far from Nashville. I think you're from Nashville as well originally, right?
Yep. Born in Memphis, raised in Nashville.
Yeah. And he's born and bred in Nashville, grew up in Nashville, played ball in middle school, high school in Nashville, came to Kentucky and was a star. And of course, went on to the NBA, was a star there as well. So,
hey, man, let me tell you something about my man. It is so difficult to get Mercer to talk. Period. Like you don't know.
Right.
And this is my OG. Like you've been looking out for me, man, since high school, man. Like I'm talking about when he was playing in the league, fly me up, let me experience that like a real OG should, you know what I'm saying? Dropping me nuggets for game, everything. Like make sure I stay on the straight and narrow, you know what I mean? So I owe a lot to him, man. But dude,
cool,
for
man.
me to get him on my podcast was it was mind blowing to me. Like he called me out the blue. Like I reached out to him probably about a year before. I was like, "Hey, Merce, man, I need you on the show, man." He was like, I got you. So when Kentucky actually was inducting him into the Hall of Fame, he hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, I got to do all these interviews. I can't leave my boy out." So he was like, "Set up the time and we'll do it." I'm sitting on the phone like, "What?" Yeah. Mercy, you ain't for the, you know what I mean? So that's the only way. Like he reached out to me for, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I got you, man. And listen, I just wanted you to know.
If it's a possibility, I got you. But boy, it's hard to get on the line.
Hey, I'm no expectations. No Mercer's. Yeah. He's pretty private. He, low key. He tries to be. You know what I mean? I mean, trust me. I know a lot about Kentucky players, so you know what I mean. Like, so I know Mercer's.
Like he lives around the corner from me. Like maybe I can just go over there and just put you on the phone. So that's gonna be better than me telling him, "Hey man, get on this podcast." Hey, that's already have the camera rolling, and then me just put him on the phone.
I got you, man. I get. Hey man, it was great. I had a blast doing this. I didn't tell you up front that I was a Kentucky fan. I don't know if Jason did or not, but I was like, man, I told Jason like a week ago, I'm like, man, I was so excited to have him on, like with Kentucky and Tennessee playing. It's going to be such a fun deal. So
I appreciate it, man. Anytime Jay called, man, you know what it is. All they got to do is hear his name, man. It's all love, man. SEC legend to another one, dog. We came a long way, bro.
Man, listen, and I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, and man, listen. And like I told you, man, you keep kicking that door down, man. No like you said, and I know you're gonna bring as many people as you can.
You better believe it.
With you when you can, but man, like you're doing your thing, man. I'm super happy for you and excited for you, and can't wait to see what I just know this is just the tip of the iceberg. So I know what you gotta go. I know it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. It's all love, man. You gotta get down here for SEC tournament again so we can rap, man.
I will, man. I will.
The hospitality is wide open when you come, dog.
Oh man, hey, listen.
All right, man. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you being on the show with us. I know Jason hit you up for all this. So, Jason, I love you, man. Doing a great job.
Appreciate you, Brad. Brad's doing a hell of a job.
Brad, you're doing a great job hosting,
Brad,
man. You threw that little curveball in there and everything. They got it.
No doubt.
I appreciate y'all fellas, man. I'm out of this thing.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
All right. Yep. All right. Great one,
all right,
man.
guys.
Great one.
That was awesome, man. I loved that. Doing that show with Ron was absolute blast. Being able to kind of talk Kentucky and Tennessee with Ron Slay was an absolute blast. So, Jason, I hit you up, man. I appreciate that because that's pretty cool to do.
Man, no problem, man. Like you said, man. Hey, and we didn't even plan it like that. It just felt like that.
No, we didn't. I really didn't plan it that way. We actually scheduled it like 3 weeks or something, and I didn't look at the schedule. And we just set up a date. And then about a week and a half ago, I told Jason, I was like, man, guess what day game is on Saturday? And Ron said he was going to do a game day pick'ems with us.
Oh,
and I was like, man, that's fantastic right there, man.
Man, it was great.
It worked out.
John was missing, and so man, he filled in for John, man.
Yeah.
John worked out just right.
It did work out just right, and we had a blast doing it. So, all right, guys, before we end the show, I do want to get to our prize picks here at College SportsCast. We're now sponsored by Prize Picks. you can use our code CSCAST, and you can double your initial deposit. Open any account, they will 100% deposit match you up to $100. So again, use our code CSCAST for daily fantasy sports fun. And one of these days, I'm going to get to it, do it myself.
Man, me too.
I promise I am. And then our 2023 nonprofit organization that the Fanboys is and Winning Edge Sports is using this year is Home for Our Troops. This is an organization that's been building homes for wounded or injured vets for over 20 plus years. You can give to them. Every dollar that you give, 90 cents of that dollar goes towards building these wounded vets homes. They will build them a home anywhere. If they want to move to Alaska, they will build them a home in Alaska. So I ask that you go to www.hfotusa.org to give.
No doubt.
All right, man. It was such a fun show. Had a blast. The last thing I want to do is hit us up a little bit. Follow us. We're doing great stuff like this and having great guests on. In the last 2 weeks, we've had Peter Burns. We've had Chris Marler from Saturday Down South. We've had Auburn head coach Butch Thompson on, head baseball coach Butch Thompson on. We've had Ron Slay on, all in the last 2 weeks. Hit us up. We can go to our Linktree page, and you can find everything that we do. We've got YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and TikTok, and you can do everything there and follow us. We also do Apple Podcast, Spotify. You can find all that stuff on linktree.com. And then the last thing, is there anything that you want to talk about before we get off?
No, man. Just, hey, this great show, man. Great shows are lined up for the next, month and a half, 2 months seems like. I think momentum is picking up, man. It's just, hey, we're just having fun, man. Just having fun with this, man.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about is on the bottom of the screen there for you. On Sunday, join us for Steve Heigl. We're going to be on talking March Madness and bracketology for college basketball. So you can catch us on Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time. And Steve Heigl will be with us. He runs justcollegefootball.net, collegebasketball.net. He is also a John Wooden Award voter. A few other things as well with award in college basketball. So he does get to vote for the Player of the Year, the John Wooden Award, and follows college basketball very closely. There's a lot of stuff going on with March Madness approaching and the bracketology stuff. So on Sunday, he's going to be on with us, and we're going to talk a lot of bracketology and certain teams and stuff on Sunday, and have a little fun. We might even make a little list here and see how we did on our picks with me, Jason, and Ron on Sunday. So don't miss that as well. And we appreciate you being on with us. Again, y'all have a fantastic night. We will see you on Sunday for Steve Heigl and our college basketball. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right, man. See you, Jason.
I see you, bro.